Welcome to AppWide Go Live 101 video series. Today we will be covering the Golive Timeline feature. So we've seen on the past the Golive Timeline, the Golive environment page, where you have all the details of your environment and all this structured information related to your environments. So now the question we may ask ourselves is, how can I know what's going on or what's happening in my environment? How can I schedule all the necessary events to run smoothly in my environments? So this is where the Golive Timeline provides much value. So to access the timeline page, click on Golive Timeline, and you get to this page. So what you see here, the timeline gives us a clear and a visual representation of all the events happening in my environment over time. So you imagine your team focusing on one place, then they can see what's going on. And of course, you can scale those events. So let's take it step by step and read what's happening here exactly. So you see, first of all, you can zoom or de-zoom, however you want to see the time scale, okay, up, or you can directly choose the date range of what's going on, of what you would like to see. So in my example, I keep it like this. And if I want to read, I see multiple colors, but it's easy to read. So if I focus, for example, on the e-commerce integration one, I see these events, they are scheduled. So I have a data refresh that is happening between May 14th and May 17th. Then I have a security scan event. Then it's happening between 22nd and 27th. Then at the same time, I have a data refresh again. And then I can see the deployment of a version. So I see here the deployment of the e-commerce 3.7 on the June 3rd. And just after that, I have a test execution or the test campaign to be scheduled here. So it's called for the July release. See, this is a really test campaign. So what is these things exactly? So it's easy to understand. In order to plan, I have a set of events going on here. This is where the calendars are coming. So the calendar, each calendar represents a specific event that can be run in my environment. For example, if I would like to launch a security scan on the e-commerce staging, I just drag and drop the event here and put it here. Okay, so if I click on the scheduling, I can see the details and I can add a description if I want to. So this is security scan description. Okay, and I can change the date if I want to also. So you see how simple to put an event inside. So the view is like we have what we call the swim lanes. The swim lanes, they display for each environment. And here I have a none, meaning these events are scheduled for no environments. So if I can take a look at this data refresh here, it's on no environments. It's just like I can put it on my schedule if I want to. Okay, so this is what we can see from the structure of the timeline itself. So let's dig deep now, and I would like to create and to add more calendar if I want to. So to have calendars here, I can just click on Add Calendar, and you see the multiple types of calendar. So let's take an example of a scheduled event that we do normally in our environments. So next, so I can choose, this is all what is available, but of course you can create your own calendar if you want to. So I can choose load testing, done. So now I added a new possibility of scheduling load testing, and I can start playing with it and scheduling if I want to, like this, and etc. Okay, and of course here I can adjust the timing if I want to. And one of the powerful features that we mentioned is the ability to display Jira issues. So for example, let's say after the deployment of the e-commerce 3.7, I would like to launch a test campaign. I can do it directly. I would like to schedule a test campaign. I can do it directly via this form. So I just click here and drag. And you see the pop-up of, so let's say test execution e-commerce 3.7. Okay. And you see the test environment is automatically filled with the e-commerce integration too. And I create, and here we have it, e-commerce 4.7. Okay, and of course I can drag it in to adjust the timing if I want to. Up. So it can run only for those 2 days, for example, this one. I created two, by the way, for my previous example. So you see how easily to schedule events here. Of course, I'm not running a real planning. I just wanted to show you the features here, how they are displayed. So let's move on something else. You see here e-commerce. I would like now to schedule more events on other environments. So to do that, I just go on the swim lane part and the filter environment, and I can see here all the filters that I can play on my environment inventory. So in example, I displayed already the e-commerce, but now I would like also to schedule the payments application for my global release. So I just add the payments and voila. So we have the payment here environment. And of course, I can drag and drop elements here to schedule if I want to. So that was for all the timeline itself and what you can do for it. So now the timeline page itself, it has inspiration from the Jira issue filter and the dashboard. You can have your timelines, your own, my timeline, okay? And you can share them with your users if you want to. So the idea as a team is to prepare a global timeline, and then you can share it and you can display it, of course, in the dashboard if you want to. So in my example, this global release plan is shared, and of course I can save. So now I saved it, and I can display it in my dashboard if I want to. Or I can export it also. So for those users who are keen on having Excel sheets, you can export it, using this Excel or CSV, okay? And this is how it is on the export part. So you have all the list of events, the title of events, the description that you entered, and more specifically when they are happening, the start date and the end date. Okay, so that was all for me today for the timeline, for the Golive timeline, and how to have a visual representation of what's going on in your environment and how to schedule them easily and add any event you want. Well, please give it a try, and thank you so much.